I was going to just share, I guess will shortly, with Nikolai is not here, but we have formed a kind of a partner uh, musical uh, created uh, activities online, and he's made some recordings of pieces that I recorded and then sent or did on uh, just for the knowledge part of how it's done. Here, for example, these recordings here on our talks can be also done within individuals, and then we can listen to them and play them back, and or send them to others in the Skype. So I recorded something on the Skype call with Nikolai, and then later he has taken the electronic recording equipment that he has and put echo and reverb and other instruments and birds and so forth. He wrote me a note yesterday or 2 days ago. So DUANE would like the birds and the sound of the ocean. I think he did two. He did about 7 recordings of this particular song I called Sunn, Sunn, in Your Luv, Luv, I guess as a title, but it's not all lyrics. It's mostly instrument. So, a certain kind of a feeling and so forth that is one of the reasons is to share something of the new you that isn't electronic per se. It's not robotic and it's not hypnotic. And at the same time, he was using some electronics, so there's a little bit of those elements, but the music itself is not like something where we're trying to put people into a framework of, okay, listen to these songs, and then you're going to become, it's going to put you into a higher state of consciousness, and or something like that. Like we talk about 420 Hz or 444 megahertz, is it? Or Hz, for the speed of the sound. And it's not, meant for that kind of positioning. So at the same time, we have to work with those different things, different vibrations. And so it's an exercise, but it's also something happy to say that we're sharing, which maybe will have some other forms of use and impact, if you will, or it's just expressing vocal. In my case, some of the acapellas are just songs that aren't made for, this is the angels singing kind of a, that we're humans singing like angels, and God's on our side now, and no worries, and or whatever kind of a format like that. At the same time, I remembered when I did this one a cappella song, Golden, that I've shared a lot all over. I sang it in a church, 1 minute long, and the song has something within it, or with me when it was recorded, and in the church building that it was in, very good acoustics, etc., with a statue of Gabriel. Gabriel's horn is a religious symbol of, I don't remember exactly the story of Gabriel, but it has something to do with this general idea of listening to the sound and having the sound vibration connect, with bringing someone out of the darkness, or some other storyline that don't exactly have details on perfectly. So it's not to repeat the old stories exactly, but what is the idea or the presentation that we're looking at. So I do know that I had that experience at the next day of that recording in New York, that I was on the street and I played it back for a college student who was working in the film, and she was doing interviews about New York City, taking care of the homeless or the poor people, the elderly. Do they have proper seating outside and benches and other kinds of, that's what she was asking people about on some project she was on. And so I played her the song, and saying it was demonstrating something here, and the whole city stopped. It literally, I mean, that where we were on a busy Manhattan street, and no one was even moving, and there wasn't a sound anywhere for the 50 seconds that the recording was on. It was like, okay, something is there, and it is something like maybe the angels in the church, vibration. Yes, but I'm not saying who or what that was or is. I just know that it's there. And so that's kind of what we're trying to do together, is some form of that, and also to have something that we can present or share or use, maybe as video music, movie music, and has something to do with the idea I've been working with for about 6 years now. Hasn't gotten too far except for all the videos made about the star rock, and something like saying, that we're in the star rock world here. You recognize that we're stars or light, and and consequently also to become aware of the rock world. It's more than a round rock world. So, we're going beyond the old concept of what the earth is. But also there's relations to the Gaia idea that nature is alive and conscious, and it speaks with us and we speak with it, or we are with it, as to our level of recognition and awareness. And so I'm experienced that with the new you, and singing with the birds and the cats and or whatever, every so often one of those experiences will happen. I'm getting the wind here today. And so I'm going to relate that to one other idea that we used to be part of, which was the so-called wind of change. And the Eckankar used that, and also the I had the other one, the razor's edge, walking on the razor's edge, which is a concept that the soul needs to follow and get aware of, and we're always walking in between this world and the other, the real world, let's say, and this is where we meet the new guides and start to get our trainings, if you will. And I don't want to use any of these words exactly, because it's not like we want to coordinate that in that kind of a conduct framework, especially references to the old ones. Nonetheless, I guess the idea of the sound current and the these three, razor's edge and the the listening aspects, receiving and or partaking, consciously in exercises, spiritual exercise, etc. So, okay. I completely lost track of where I was pointing at, so I guess I didn't really need to, except for to share. But that's kind of the ideas I've been working with. The Star Rock world is to recognize that, and I'm doing it with a music concert theater type of presentation. Or it's not just music, you know, so theater, let's say the life theater where we're observing what's going on, and most of the people, or almost all of them, have no recognition at all. And a little experience I had a few minutes ago, again with the local population, and they're just, it's I have no words for how much further dumbed down humans have become. And I'm thinking that part of the responsibility for that was the Eckankar that didn't really go beyond, you know, where it was when it was picked up. And so that is, you know, remember we call it the testing ground too, is another term. So they all at the time past, you know, were some things that I picked up in my own, kind of accepted them as ideas and principles of some value, and law of silence, you know, there's another one. But there isn't any real law of silence, and you have to be quiet or not quiet. So it is sometimes better to be listening, clearly. And most of the people have no ability to listen because of what's been caused and created and dominioned over them through the media and the social cultural institutions and our identifications, you know, the national, sexual, and racial, and other institutional, personal ones as well. So, of course, yeah, that's the construct that we're identifying also, so that we can, you know, okay, I see that one, blah blah blah, out the door, or no need to, you know, create a belief or a marketed idea. So I'm with Nikolai, and in on our, you know, weekly maybe, we're doing something, and that's a, you know, that's, I guess Dwayne would say that, and Val, you know, about getting a partner also, and working with them, and it's not that that partner has just to be for one thing, could be for everything, or just one thing, you know, like that. Val and I are doing the hiking as an example, trying to make it so that it's real, that it's for universal hikers, and the real journey isn't the walking on the road or the trail hike. So, yeah, you know, that's the metaphoric field. And thanks, Val. I have a recording I could share that I'm going to try and copy it over from Nikolai's over here, just for, you could listen to one of this recent one, "Sunn for Your Love." It's kind of cool. I I have one question I guess I could bring up, because the music does sound somewhat, especially with that humming electronic, let's say, that it's something like what the AI systematic alienation music sounds like. And they, for good reason, that's why they have that, because they want to adopt it or take it for that concern, their concerns. which is to maintain the controlled picture, identifying symbols and source of control. It's there's the razor's edge. That's a good way of describing it. So that's the another one there. Yeah, thank you, Val.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you for sharing what you guys are doing.
Yeah. Did you know